Paragons of Perfection here. Uh, as Padula said, a fairly prolific online community. They play in a good deal of StarCraft-related things, as
Hmm.
I understand it. Also playing in the StarCraft 2 Improve League.
Yeah.
So, spawning in the top left position, our Red Terran player representing Paragons of Perfection. It is going to be Maniac Jace.
And in the bottom right, spawning in the orange chunks, playing once again for Paragons of Perfection, we have World is Doom. Now, I love their little logo. What is more perfect than an angel flying over
I
a
I like
green
that
land?
they've retextured it. It was hella ugly. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was hella ugly to begin with. It was this little square that had this green thing in it, and you're just like, I don't even know what this is. So, them opting to crop some aspects, enlarge it, definitely helping them because
Hmm,
it was not cute to begin with. I'm not even gonna lie
it's
to the
funny.
folks at home. It was hella ugly. It really was. And I mean, if that's the most BM to come out of the casting duo tonight, me saying their logo was ugly and has improved marginally, then we're doing pretty good here. So,
Now, one thing that I like on new maps, I'm probably not going to see it actually because Reaper is the thing to do. But if you go for Marine first on this map, this Overlord, you can get caught out, like right here, looking for that CC. And I've killed the Overlord so many times, which is really nice. It does look like he's going to be safe with his Overlord, though, skirting the outskirts of it. Um, but yeah, just one thing I like about this map.
yeah. Looks like fairly standard openers so far out of our players.
Yep,
Uh,
12-12
Zerg,
Reaper from
yeah,
Lars Terran.
Zerg could opt to do something crazy still at this point. Nope, that's position for the spawning pool. Okay, so we're gonna see some pretty well a repeat of our last couple games here. Some standard Terran Reaper aggression, probably into Hellions, and then gonna try to get some economic damage, macro on the back of it. Pretty standard stuff here. So we'll see if the Zerg player is gonna reinvent the wheel. But at this point, it does look like we're gonna see a similar game to those past.
Yeah. SCV scouting, which is interesting, being super safe, wants to see exactly what time that spawning pool goes down, see what gas is being taken. Looks like he's probably going to get 100 gas for speed and then pull out. That's my guess.
Yeah, might see him keep a guy in there, have things ready for Bane Nest. Might know that there's some aggression coming. I don't know. Could could see that, but probably like you said, he is gonna pull out at the 100. Reaper opting to shoot these drones that are harvesting gas. I don't know if that's the correct choice as they're hopping in and out of a structure, but that's what he
Maniac
did.
Chase really late on his factory, waiting for the supply depot to be finished building and then building the factory. That's going to delay this Hellbat and or Hellion timing by a lot, or whatever timing. I would say it's a good 15, 20 seconds late. Maybe 10 seconds. Maybe not 15 or 20, but every second counts, especially with Hellbats. It could 10 seconds is like a huge deal in TVC. Could be the difference between like having 6 lings out and having like 18 lings out.
Yeah, definitely. As as predicted, he does pull out around the 100 for all the Reaper harass shooting those drones. He does only manage to take 2 extra trips, so 8 gas in the bank. That's going to be him faster to the Baneling nest because it's going to be that 8 gas is going to be super vital. Everyone. We do see a starport coming off of the back of this, so probably, and the Hellion started, so probably Hellion Banshee nonsense happening.
Once again, yeah. Very strong.
Very strong. Definitely forces a response out of the Zerg. Third, the third is starting at what I would say on time for the Zerg player here. Previous matches, despite playing safe, delaying third, that Zerg player did fall to the aggression, and whether or not it took longer he did end up falling to the aggression, but the Zerg not shying down from the challenge, getting that third going, and he's going to be in a good place if he's able to hold this early aggression, and he does
Yeah.
scout it.
One things that I love from both players. Number one, Marines, it really good positions to deny Overlord scouting. Number two, an Overlord going the back route all the way around to get this scout off.
Yep.
He's looking for that armory. There is no armory here. This is a really great scout from the Overlord.
He sees these two. He sees these two tech labs spinning.
Yeah.
He knows
So he
Banshees
knows.
are coming. He
And he
knows
knows-
Stim is coming. So he has a pretty good idea of what's going to be happening here. Does start the Spore Crawler.
I like this spine here. This little wall definitely gonna help.
Yeah.
If he keeps all the drones in the natural, that Hellbats are gonna have they're gonna have a tough time going in there. And we have a Spore coming down. This is really good defense from World is Doom.
Yeah.
I would say that World is not Doom. World is in a good position.
Going for the low-hanging fruit here. Hellions are moving on to creep. They are going to poke around at this third, and they are going to see that the Zerg player has his third finished. So maybe going to be aware that there's not as much army here as there could be.
I would love for the Terran player to throw down a CC, right now. But I don't see it going down. We do have an
Banelings
Overlord in
morphing
place.
in. A lot of Banelings morphing in, so he is going to repel this very strongly.
Yeah. Hellbats finally getting morphed. 9-minute mark. A little late. Definitely could have been like 10 or 20 seconds earlier. These Banelings would not be ready for this. And this would be a totally different story if he
Positioning
built
is
that
really
factory.
solid here, letting that spine do a lot of the work here. Decides, I don't really need to give you these Banelings, I just need to hang on, get drones, and get in a good position.
Yeah, now Maniac Jace invested a lot into this Hellbat timing and is not getting anything done.
Decent surround here.
Oh, good patience on the Hellbat connections. Ooh.
Arguably not the ideal scenario for the Zerg, but he is feeling safe at this point. Decides he
Yes.
got the bulk of that and starts a massive round of drones. So these queens are gonna finish up here. Banshee
Nice.
stays alive, so that Banshee is gonna probably come into play later here. But the Zerg player does feel safe at this point, continuing on with the drones, gets a few lings, probably going to morph those to banelings, and does start upgrades. So I think our Zerg player does feel a little more safe than he was.
He really needs to start pooping right here to deny the third.
Yeah.
That's going to delay the Terran a lot, especially with him going mech off this. Is it going mech? He's got 3 factories, yeah. So this is a mech transition from the Terran. There's not a lot of things that shoot up when you go to a mech transition. So if you start to poop creep, it's not like there's like 5 Marines hanging around that he could just go. He actually only has 2 Marines, which it just delays it a little longer. Yeah, I really just wish there was creep there.
It's entirely possible. Yeah,
Oh,
he
there we
does
go.
start.
Boom.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, slightly inconsequential, but it does, like you said, moments matter, especially after the Zerg has repelled your attack that you've invested quite a bit in.
Man, if he had this creep a little earlier, these turrets would not be able to get going down.
Does start a scan, looking to see if the Zerg player has taken this next expansion. Has not, so he's maybe eyeing whether or not he needs to be concerned about some potential aggression, and that is the case here. Some lings
This
are
is-
going to run in here.
Yeah, I don't know if he should have brought the Banelings, to be honest. I feel like that was a misclick. They're just really not needed, especially... Maybe he doesn't know... Does he know that this is a mech transition? I don't think he does.
No, he
Ooh,
doesn't.
Oh, God.
He's gonna be aware real soon here when he sees what comes to deny this.
Yeah.
It's possible that Jace here is metagaming the Zerg player.
Yeah.
Perhaps Jace always goes bio, is surprising World here with this transition. So World does start the Roach Warren, does start missile attacks, so he's probably just gonna get set up on his 4 bases, wait for some upgrades, and poke lightly with these mutas he's got coming out.
A lot of mutas actually popping, though. That's a decent amount.
Yeah.
That's nice. He did take out 2 turrets. in that attack.
There's
Not
only
terrible.
yeah. There's definitely not a God. What's his name? Mech player. Always
Abilo?
mechs. No, in the CTL.
Oh, Metalcore.
Yeah, there's not a metalcore style impregnable
turrets.
turret wall here, so he is gonna get some damage done with these mutas.
Yeah. There's a ton of Thors though. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get into one of
And the
those.
Thors have been revealed. So
Yeah.
mutas are gonna lose their effectiveness, and getting 2 SCVs off the back of this huge muta investment, not ideal. Needs to get a lot more done with these.
He needs to get out. Now, I don't know if Maniac Jace mechs often or infrequently, but I do know that one of the hard part about building mech is getting a right composition. And right now, the composition of our mech player is like a really good amount of Hellbats, good amount of tanks, and good amount of Thors, and good amount of Banshees. Like, usually it's like you have one too many of one thing and not enough of the other, but this is a really good, stable, what's a word to describe it.
Solid.
Yeah, it's just solid composition of everything that's
So,
needed.
Yeah, he is gonna realize that right now Zerg player droning up the 4th in a definitely a compromised position is gonna move across with these strong units.
He's gonna need more roaches, and he's gonna need a surround. I don't know
absolutely.
if this is gonna be able to be held, especially with these tanks set up. It's just gonna be super tough. Oh, then the
Muta's
roaches are
moving
gonna
into
go.
the Thors. Some decent. I would say that this is decent enough.
He's gonna
magic
clean up all
boxing.
the Thors, so the mutas are gonna run wild now. That's really nice.
That's a huge pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he would just not attack with his lings. Just go to town with your mutas.
He is gonna basically go for broke on this hatch here, not even taking it. So that is a huge situation here for the Zerg player. A mech player going on the aggressive too soon, losing all those value units. Definitely not the ideal scenario, but again,
I thought it was interesting that he didn't go for Vikings at all in this composition. And one thing that we said, like, he was attacking during a compromising time for our Zerg. Our Zerg player was like droning up the 4th, which means that because he defended that, like, our Zerg player's in a great position.
Absolutely. Income slightly favoring our Zerg, and he does have a good amount of mutas. These mutas are going to start breaking down this wall. They are going to start getting some worker kills here.
Yep, only losing 2 mutas in that fight was nice. And as he continuously kills those turrets, yeah, it's just a lot of mineral income. And if the Terran player forgets to put turrets up again, he can later just kind of sweep up those SCVs, which happens, I think, pretty often to me. Oh,
A huge round of roaches being produced here.
I like that decision. He knows he cleaned up all the tanks. Resetting that tank count is going to make roaches that much better.
Yeah.
I would like to see Burrow too.
Our Zerg player is going to be aware here, using his 3rd Zerg eye of this expansion that is undefended. Moving in.
Now we had 7 turrets go down. Every single one of them is going to be destroyed. That's going to be a huge investment from our Terran player.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting.
And now the Terran player is actually out of position with a segment of his army.
Yeah, completely out of position here. Mutas being pulled back. Tanks not sieged.
Roaches
Decent
could do it.
control on the Thors here, on the mutas.
Yeah, Roaches could do a little better job spreading. There were so many Roaches not firing, but it looks like it's just not going to matter.
Yeah, definitely. Denies the Terran his expansion, starts his next expansion. Our Zerg player here is in a really good position. I don't expect him to continue this line of aggression, threaten this 3rd, but I do expect him to reset again, as you said, this mech player's army.
Now, I wish that there was like maybe 2, 3, like 4 lings in the 3rd, because so many SCVs would have been killed in the attack. But that's okay.
Lings are pulling back. Some mutas being misrallied here. An unfortunate loss. Each muta is rather expensive, but you know, at this point, some misrallies here and there off the back of his good position. It is what it is.
So we do have a Ling run by going on. He knows that he just cleaned up the entire army. He knows
Yeah.
that like there's the only thing that's left is Thor's, and Ling's wreck Thor's actually, which is really nice. There are a few Hellbats, but not enough, man. This Ling army can take this ground
army
up.
is too slow. 30 SCVs getting picked off in the time it took him to respond. A Zerg player just abusing the immobility of this mech army, and he does not have this strong line of siege tanks that you need to have in position for Ling run pies.
Really good play from World is Doom.
He's just in an exceptional position right now, and income mules are a good unit, so the Terran is keeping up with income. So
Now, one thing that
throwing it in.
I do want to say, like a lot of games like this, once you get ahead, you kind of get lazy with a few of your mechanical things, and I definitely do this. It's one thing that I'm bad at. I kind of like play down to me being ahead, but his creep spread really could be to the base at 22 minutes, and I think that he just like he knows that he's in a really good spot. He probably won this game, and he's kind of slacking on some things that, you know, will just make it a lot easier. If he had creep spread, like
Another
these
big
attacks would be way
engage on
stronger.
this mech army here. It's a decent surround. Muta's hanging back until Thors are picked off. Smart decision here. Again,
Oh, he's gonna-
resetting this mech army.
Yeah, I mean once he gets this fourth, it's gonna be GG.
Yeah,
If he kills
absolutely.
any CC here,
These Vikings doing some work against the Mutas, but there's just so many Mutas. Yeah, and the Ling run by in the natural, just denying more and more SCVs.
yeah, I
Income
wish
gonna plummet for our Terran player. Yeah, 200 gas per minute as a mech player is a death sentence. I think we're gonna see the GG here shortly.
Yep. There it
And
is.
there it is.
Great game from Wilda's Doom.
Yeah, solid, solid. I mean, it's definitely there's definitely an argument to be made for the fact that I gotta give it to the mech player for actually having the huevos to move out with that army and not just getting an impregnable siege tank line and macroing on 3. But I think often as the mech player, forcing the Zerg to attack you leads in you just trading way more efficiently, and I think that was the situation there. Just repeatedly in that game, Jace was not trading efficiently. His units cost more. He needed to be getting more bang for his buck. His early attack was repelled. His second attack was repelled, and then off the back of that, he needed to play very defensive and just scale hard into the late game, and he just wasn't doing that and just got punished strongly
Yeah,
for that.
interestingly enough, I thought in early game, I thought it was weird that he didn't have any Marines. Like even when you're fully going mech, like he maybe made 3 Marines that whole game, maybe a few more, but no more than 4 or 5. And a lot of times those Marines they do make a big difference if you have 10, 15 Marines that were just left over from the beginning of the game to help clean up the mutas. In that huge engagement with those Thors, if those Marines were there, I think that fight would go a little differently. Marines do a really good job against the mutas, and it was like mutas fighting alone for a long time. I think so. He sacrificed his Marines to get a more like heavy ground army composition, way more Hellbats, way more Banshees, way more Thors, but his anti-air wasn't there, and like when he got crushed there, it really allowed the Zerg to come back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really come back in the game, just take a commanding lead that he never really.
Yeah, he did not cede that lead.
Yeah. I always expect something like intense and pragmatic to come out of the World of Doom. Like he's like, 1 second, I need to get my laundry from the depths of hell. Like, but no, he just said washer and dryer. That's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah, it's a interesting name for sure. So Terran player again needs to win this next game in order to have the potential of moving on to face his rival Terran player. So if he loses this next game, World's Doom is gonna move on to fight our Terran player from
I'm
All
gonna grab
Inspiration.
some yogurt, Cobalt. So tell me when I need to click something to accept.
I think you're good, man.
Okay.
So again, for those just tuning in, this is the
What's up, bud?
Chobo Star. This is the Chobo Star League, and it is an individual competitive league, which is loosely associated with the CTL. Basically, players must advance through the group stage from the round of 32 into the round of 16, and then from there into the single elimination playoffs. We are currently in the round of 32, so these players fighting to move on to the next level, and they're competing for those dank Chobo, the Chobo Star League.
It's actually really neat
Yeah.
because the CSL, it's just based off of the WCS. So there are 3 big tournaments, just like last season. It's WCS. 3 big tournaments that seed and you get points, and also other tournaments during the year, and they all lead to the CCS, which is the Chobo Championship Series, just like the World Championship Series, except for Chobos, and it's really neat. Yeah, like all of the statistics that go through it, the clan camaraderie. If you aren't a part of it, I would definitely recommend joining. It's super fun.
Yeah, definitely. And these currently the some of these players playing today already arguably having a really solid place in the Chobo Championship Series points bracket. So currently Pisos is in a pretty commanding lead, boasting 592 points. So obviously we're gonna see him in the end of the year tournament series. Some ties for 16th place, which is where the cutoff is. 16 persons advancing to that WCS style tournament, having earned their place there. Looks like yeah, Cobalt on this list, bringing up
Nice.
solid 99 position.
I think I'm like 50 something, which is neat.
You're 65.
Oh, 65, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I
So
think our players are ready.
it's about damn time.
Yeah, right.
Jesus. All right. So we are gonna have the laundry situation squared away, and we are gonna head into the next game. These Paragon boys, they like their stalling.
They're all about cleaning, man. They need to like come live with me, do my laundry.
Freaking perfectionists.
So one thing that I wanted to say that I totally just forgot. Never mind. I hate when that happens.
Yeah. All right. So spawning in the bottom right position, representing Paragons of Perfection, coming off the heels of a painful loss to one of his clannies. It is Maniac Jace.
And in the upper left, spawning in the orange trunks for Paragons of Perfection, we have World is Doom. World is Doom coming off with whatchamacallit, where you're not expected to win. But definitely an underdog win. What is that called? A upset. Yeah, a definite upset, I think, last game. So I'm excited.
Maybe stick to Japanese, man.
Dude, I'm losing all language ability.
You know
In,
that's a sign
Japan.
of a stroke, right?
Oh, great. Good. Good to know.
Can you move both sides of your face?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Good, man. I worry.
Coda. Coda's a cool map. I think that these rocks right here, Oh no, I'm thinking of Echo. Let's see. These rocks, yeah, no, these rocks here, and the other. Is there other, or is that just parallel? Yeah, yeah, here and here. They can be a little annoying, especially if you want to sneak around. It takes forever to go all the way around.
Yeah.
But I really like it because they basically are like, once you kill those rocks, easy access to the third of both players. Usually that third is the one that gets taken. Sometimes the Terran takes the third that they can fly to, but I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some standard openers from the Zerg player. Terran player, however, mixing it up here. Any
CC
thoughts
first.
on this?
Yeah, no, I think that CC first is, in the current meta, a really good build. Zergs haven't been doing any Bane busting because of the prominence of mech in the metagame. Having that early tank really shuts down a lot of Zerg all-in, so the Zergs just don't do it anymore. So going CC first is just one of those things that I think is definitely going to come back into play during the HOTS meta. Definitely just to sneak it in too. This Overlord's going to scout it, but
Yeah.
how many times has the Zerg seen CC first? Not many, I'm going to guess, in the recent meta. So I'm not sure if World is Doom is going to be like, hey, CC first, I'm going to like Bane Bust, or if he's going to be like, I'm going to go back to my original plan. And
I'm
usually,
sure he knows.
yeah. Well, I know that he knows, but I wonder if he's like it is a risk. It'd be like, man, I haven't been against this type of thing in a long time. I personally think that as a Zerg, if I see this, that I would go 3 hatch before pool every time, and just play a macro game because Zerg's like, oh, you want to go greedy? I'm gonna outgreed you. That's like what my race is all about. But if he went to make massive amount of lings, it's not a bad thing.
I think he is going to take a nod from your suggestion. He is keeping his drones in gas, having started the speed. This can really only read to me as one of two things. He could be going for a Bane Bust, or he could be maybe going for some early tech, not expecting as much aggression out of our Terran player.
Yeah.
So he's definitely taking advantage of the situation. We'll just see in which way. Yeah, and Roach Warren does get started, and this is an earlier Roach Warren, so maybe a Roach Ling aggression timing here. So we'll see. Ling's posturing to deny this scout. However, they were asleep on the job, and the Terran player does get in. However, does not see this Roach Warren
no.
that was started.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
that's definitely a big deal. I mean, it's possible he might have counted the gas, seen something's up, but we can't necessarily count on that. So, but he does not scout the Roach Warren. Definitely significant. Starport getting started all the same. That's going to be fortunate. And yeah, we do see a huge round of Roaches starting. Ling speed complete. So I think he's going to move out with these 8, reinforced with Lings. This is a pretty standard Roachling timing. Generally, it's used against Protoss, sometimes Zergs, but generally Protoss. But he is going to adapt it to the situation and move out with this incredibly strong timing attack. Does allow himself to get somewhat supply blocked. So again, like you said, we have to question whether or not he's super familiar with this. Might have been on the back foot, not expecting it. Hellions do see these Roaches, though.
Oh, Roaches. Oh, man. I wish that they would have just killed them right away.
Yeah.
Hellions just running into Roaches. Gotta have...
Bunkers
like,
starting here, so he is aware of what's happening.
Yep. And this is a Ling Roach Ellen. He does have to pull his SCVs, but if he does and gets them around the bunkers, I think he's going to be just fine against this.
We will see. Roaches are getting into position here, and they are
Only
gonna
2
start.
Marines, though.
Starts focusing some SCVs.
That's a good
Does
decision.
micro back the SCV. A Viking here. Not sure that's the correct call. Production tab has halted for our Zerg player. Okay, Bane Nest. So yeah, he's gonna move back, keep these Lings, position for a very strong Bane Bust, and he's gonna keep these Roaches at the front. He is not done with this aggression. Our
No,
Terran
and
player might think that he's safe. So I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
a great decision, I think, from both players. A, the Terran player's not throwing his third down. He's going into aggression, so he's going like a CC first into like a 2-base play. And B, the Zerg player's like, I'm going to deny your third as much as possible. And and not force it. I think that's a good decision because if he would have forced it, he would have just lost all his stuff. We do have a medevac drop, and this is it's gonna be. I mean, he sees it with the
He
roaches,
sees
but
it.
does he see it? Like that's
Oh,
the
he
question.
he responds to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is it's really good that he saw it because that could do a lot of damage.
He's
And now he's
moving
gonna go
back
home.
home. I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know
it's
how
not
to
a bad
interpret
thing
that.
because there's no like third to be taken. I don't think the Zerg knows that. So I think that with his unknowing, it's a bad decision, but it's actually a good decision because him like being like, okay, you can take the third. There's no third to be taken, you know. So not that bad. And now he can just deny
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
medevacs.
I think that he forced a response out of the Terran player, got some bang for his buck, and both players are gonna switch to a macro focus off the back of this early aggression. This drop is coming into play. Is dropping the main. Drones
Oh god.
being somewhat pulled, not as efficient as they could be. 5 lost, but they could have been worse. Decent Ling surrounds there once
Yeah,
they
not
finally
terrible.
got into position.
I think that Terrans need to be doing the 4 Hellion drop way more. It's really easy to micro, it's gonna get kills, and it's really easy to save everything. I don't know why I don't see it that up more often. It's just a great thing.
Hmm.
Like, he didn't even have to, like, think of how many kills he got, and he just got greedy. Like, he could have just picked up and with one click and saved all those 4 after 2 shots,
Yeah.
killing, like, 6 drones and then getting out.
We do see the Zerg player moving across the map here.
This is great. He needs to check the other third, though. Terran just doesn't have enough stuff to deny to protect this third.
Yeah.
The Zerg needs to. If he
I-
lets it
I
finish, it
think
can
he's
just
gonna
lift and
go-
fly away. That's not good.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for a Bane Bust here. I don't think that he's concerned with looking for the third at this point.
Yeah, he's
Looking-
going all in here.
Yeah, he's looking for a strong Bane Bust. So,
There's not a lot there. It's all gonna be about these mine hits. I think the Terran just loses. I'm gonna say it right here.
we'll see. Alright, so... those
Oh, it's not
mines
good that
are
those
hurt.
mines did.
Yeah. So Zerg
not
player
good.
running in here. Everybody abandoning the bus there. Needs to
Oh.
raise these depots, does
Yeah, he
not.
did.
Zerg player now,
On
production
production.
tab with 20 lings, some units in the base. This is crisis for the Terran
Good
player.
surround from the SCVs. He's not really microing his roaches. Now he is.
Yeah. It's possible he might have been looking at his third, because a drop did take out his third. So Jace is getting some trades in here. Arguably not as efficiently as the Zerg
But-
player.
Link's coming across the map. Those mines are still there. Oh, but they don't trigger. Oh god, if
Just
those
out of
mines were in
range.
place, this would make it so much better. But there's enough bio here, I think.
Oh yeah. Zerg player
there's
needs
no-
to decide why he's in this base right now.
There's
He
no
needs to decide why he's
SCVs.
here.
We got a small base trade happening. 4
Yeah.
Marauders going down, gonna take off this this hatchery. That's crazy.
Yeah, the Zerg player just did not
Oh, man.
understand why he was in the base right then. But you know, 53 SCVs
I-
dead, 2
I think-
hatches gone.
I think he just threw this game. I mean, mules are so strong.
Mules are so strong.
It's 1 base versus 3 right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely taking a turn. out.
Yeah.
And the Zerg player realizing the power of mules.
Yep.
That got incredibly scrappy.
Yeah.
I think the
It
Zerg
just shows-
player lost sight a little bit.
The power of drops, man. One thing, if you know that a medevac's out on the map, like, you need to leave stuff home. It's just what happens. Or, like, have your queens together. Because if he had a couple queens, like 3 or 4 queens, he could take that medevac out, and then it's way easier to deal with. But yeah.
Yeah. So 1-1, and we're gonna move into our deciding match here. Gonna see who gets to square off against All Inspirations player.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the rubber match. This is exciting, and then it's one of those things that World is Doom was totally in that game. I think with a slightly better decision making, especially like you said, knowing exactly why he wanted to go in the main, maybe not going in the main and keeping that army, he wins that game.
Yeah. I think I think that, and you know, honestly, I can't say I'd have done any better because crisis management is something that you just learn with time. And that, how many times has that weird situation happened to that Zerg player? We can't say, but he needed to know why he was in that base right then, because his roaches just kind of like moved out of range of the bio, started attacking a refinery, like. They were just kind of chilling. The Zerglings streamed in, also chilled, walked through the bio, got shot. And at that point, you just, like, he's just kind of like, oh, I need to kill. And he's not keeping his eye on his natural, not keeping his eye on his third. He just kind of lost sight of what he was trying to accomplish. And if he'd have hung back, made some more banes, kind of gone for the throat judiciously, we'd have seen a different outcome, I think. So.
For sure. I do want to say, if I'm Maniac Jace right now, I'm not feeling good. Like, I know that I just barely won that game. I know that World is Doom is the underdog. He's kind of making me look bad. So the pressure's on. I mean, World is Doom's got nothing to lose here, and Maniac Jace has got everything to lose. So that's cool. I mean, that's a little overstating it, but kind of.
I think both players have about the same to lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, the perfectionists making sure that everything is just spick and span in their house before we can carry on with this casted series.
This cast has been great, Cobalt. Thanks for casting with me.
Oh yeah,
I've enjoyed it.
Don't thank me yet. We still got a hot minute to go.
Oh, that's true.
This
is the
damn minute.
The second group stage. Winner of this will go on to the winners match, of course. Loser of this go on to the losers match. So yeah, we got a lot of StarCraft to see, a lot of StarCraft to cast. We do have Chimera drop into All Inspiration, Mr. Lando. So Mr. Lando is going to meet the winner of this game.
Yep.
In the next best of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Valley Research Station again, like we talked about. Mech very strong on this map, but Zerg has a lot of open space maneuver, good creep spreading ability, and safe third and fourth, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have spawning in the bottom position are, again, blue. We're repping that blue. It is going to be Maniac Jace.
And in the upper 12 o'clock position, spawning in your orange trunks, we have, from Paragons of Perfection, World is Doom. Oh, good. I just got rid of my UI. Oh, there it is. Okay. Much better.
UIOP. So, do you think we're going to see some mech play out of our Terran player? Do you think he's going to try to get it right? What do you think, Padula?
I really don't know. 50-50. Because personally, I think he is a bio player. I think he prefers bio. But I also think that this map is really good for mech, so...
Yeah, I mean...
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Obviously, casters filling in the dead space in the beginning of this game here. Not quite to Legacy of the Void, where we only have to shoot the shit for literally half a second before fucking
Action starts,
rings
yeah.
are in people's bases and shit's going crazy. So...
We
Looking
do have
forward to that.
a 12-12 coming down from the Terran player. So Reaper once again. Reaper good, strong on this map. The gold, we have gold in interesting positions on this map. What do you think about the gold? Do you ever sneak a hatch at the gold?
Nope.
Never. Okay.
Nope. I do not.
Do you take it as a fourth?
I don't do that either.
Do you
I
veto
really
this
don't.
map?
No, I play it.
Okay.
I just grab the bases that I can reasonably defend.
Yeah. Okay. As a Terran player, I love taking the gold as a third.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But
You can't fly your hatches, so.
Yeah, I can't fly my hatches, and I like to defend where I have creep, and I can reasonably creep to the expansions surrounding the periphery of the map. So
it's really nicely tucked in there. Some nice chokes for your Banes to kind of just wait in.
yeah.
This is a great map. You know, looking at this map, I don't really like playing it because I do a lot of aggressive 2-base play, and it's kind of weak because it takes so long to get to your base, and you kind of only have to defend like this little ramp, so it's just hard for Terran in general. But I think like it's a great map for macro style play.
Yeah.
It's really cute too. Like I love the symmetry. I love the like okay, there's a middle gold for like one player when all the other minerals are mined out, you're gonna fight for this gold base. I think that's really cool. I like that in maps.
So this Reaper is going to make his way into the Zerg base, is going to try to pick off some things. Again, opting not to wade into that back mineral line, try to pick off some drones here on the gas. Deny the speed, I guess. I don't know what his reasoning is. Almost gets a drone here, but...
Yeah, I think that's really risky because the links kind of pop right next to your Reaper there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Don't know if I like that decision. There's way other drones to go after. Like the drones have like a time where they're safe when they go in the gas, and like the Reaper stops shooting. Like if he gets a drone that's on a mineral patch, he could kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't see another Reaper to follow up this one, so definitely not gonna see that strong 3 Reaper harass that sealed the deal for our previous Zerg player.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is more standard, especially for lower level play. I think that 3 Reaper play, it's really difficult to micro and macro at the same time, and this allows you to have Marines that can just kind of kill overlords, get some map presence, defend any links coming by. It's a little safer, but a little less micro oriented. So, I think that's why a lot of people go for it. But then again, the 3 Reaper style that Mr. Lando was doing is really hard on the Zerg if you know what you're doing. If you can macro and micro that, you can even kill a queen, and that's it's just like 200 minerals minus all the injects that queen would do. It just puts you at such an advantage that I think a lot of really elite high-level players like doing it better than the 1 Reaper.
This Reaper is gonna see the 3rd starting for the Zerg. We do have some reactored Hellions moving across, so 2 Hellions gonna join in this pressure. Mine coming in.
And a medevac.
Yeah,
completely
so
different build from the Terran player. This is gonna be interesting.
might see some Widow Mine drops. That's a possibility.
We only got 1 mine being made, I wonder. Oh, the Terran's player supply blocked. That's no good. It's gonna be supply blocked for quite some time. Oh, okay, never mind. Supply depot finishes.
So-
Nice 3rd. Chimera was delaying his 3rd. This is the time that I expect people are gonna get their 3rds.
He is gonna get a Baneling nest and a spine here, so he is posturing defensively. But as I said, there is this drop coming across the map, completely as expected.
No overlords out on the map to see it. Overlord's just now moving, so this could be a surprise.
Yeah, they're gonna spot it.
Eventually, but
They're gonna spot it.
now what's he gonna do is he's gonna attack with his Hellions and Reaper, and it's gonna make the drop just not like he's not gonna be looking over at that side of the map. He's
Yeah.
gonna be looking at these Hellions and Reapers,
No.
and this drop's gonna sneak in. He's gonna plant that mine. We'll see how he does.
Here it
One
comes.
spine goes down, which is really nice. He might. He's gonna get 1 shot off the mine.
Oh, big connection there.
6. Now, if he just lifts the Marines, he could have saved all of them if he was a little better. Literally, like 2 Marines go down for 6 drones. That's a
He needs
great
to be,
drop.
Yeah, he needs to be pressuring this 3rd off the back of that. But obviously, not all of us Korean. But ideally, he'd have A-moved these as he was dropping, so...
Yeah.
That
No
they'd be
Overseer. There is a
pressuring.
spore going down, but this mine's gonna get another
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
off.
Alright, so drop happening in the main. Getting some pickoffs. Gonna force a response as he's applying pressure to this expansion here.
And the mine gets 2 more kills.
Mine is still here. However, there is detection. Mine does go down, so hero mine being denied there. Marines all taken out from the drop. Medevac floating here. Still
Tons
got
of
the
links out.
spores. Yeah,
If these links could surround the Hellions, it'd be good, but he just doesn't know that they're there.
yeah, not aware they're there.
Yeah.
Terran player gonna be moving his 3rd into position here shortly. Solid Sim City starting up. I think they're both gonna stabilize off the back of this, start their upgrades, which is the case, and take this game into the mid-late portion. So
Yeah. Look at this cheeky bunker from Maniac Chase. Just is like, hey, I'm gonna pressure you with medevacs and Hellions. If you attack me with Lings, I just want to be extra careful that I'm okay.
yeah, getting some drones here. Two for 1 Hellion. Oh, gets surrounded though. Not sure that was ideal.
Yeah, about Losing 400 minerals there.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
he must have been macroing back at home. That's really
I
regrettable to lose that force.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think Terrans take for granted that like those Hellions are Hellbats later in the game when you have an armory, and those do a lot. Like you keep your Hellions after your initial pressure, like those Hellbats will make a world of difference in an engagement. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's nice that Zerg cleaned that up.
Yeah, and Spire is starting. Bane speed, just some pretty standard Ling Bane Muta stuff coming out of the Zerg. Turn player getting into position for some bio Widow Mind play. Gonna move his third into position, so I'd like to see some better saturation from our Zerg player here on his gases, because he needs these gases like 5 minutes ago, frankly, if he's going to be going into muta style. We all know how gas heavy mutas are. He needs drones in these extractors. He needs another. Yeah, he's aware, and he is going to get that situation sorted because muta is just so gas exhaustive. So he needs to be looking at a fourth for those extractors as well, I think. So
Yeah,
not
what's
ideal.
what's interesting about Zerg, as the game progresses, you need more and more gas. You're gonna be starting banking minerals, but your gas is gonna be at a super low. Almost every late game composition unit for Zerg takes a shitload of gas, like just a lot of gas. So it's super important that you get 6 gases at a specific time.
Yeah. Unless you're going some kind of dark Roach, Bane, Corruptor nonsense. That one is less gas exhaustive, but obviously we see that less. Widow Mines are being burrowed. One does go down to collateral splash. Oh, some friendly fire here. If mutas
Yeah.
were in play, these medevacs would be in trouble, but sadly, mutas still a ways off from being a part of this composition.
And he's going to take out this fourth. Really nice pickup from the Terran player. One of the Terran advantages that I think that should be complained about more, that isn't, like, I always hear about Hellbats and mines, but if you think about Terran in general, like, the cost of the Marine is 50 minerals, and minerals are a commodity that you're always going to have during the game, especially with mules. It's just like, no matter what time you're going to have the ability to make Marines, which are good against both sky and ground units, which is
Yeah.
great.
Some good pre-spreading here from our Terran player. Knows that this soft pressure needs to be responded to. I guess the Zerg just decides, you know what, you can have that. I'm going to take this gold. It's better for me anyway. And he is flying his mutas across to do some reciprocal damage. So I think that his mindset right now is play defensive, hang on, and then try to get some damage done with mutas.
Oh man, really good decision. I like that from the Zerg player. He sent those mutas out kind of to make sure that no scout is going to scout this, but a Marine kind of
Yeah.
sneaks by and scouts that fourth right away, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate for the Zerg player. But he's got this really nice surround going on around the Zerg Terran army. If the Terran army tries to like move to that fourth,
Yeah.
he's going to have a bad time. But we just have a drop going around. Our Terran player playing really smart.
Yeah. Decides I'm not really getting as much done here as I wanted to. Does start to position more aggressively. So we're probably going to see this drop get queued across to deny that gold.
Yeah.
Zerg player knows eyes are elsewhere. Going to pick up stragglers. Not going to give away any
Oh
Banes.
man.
And now he has this
Terran's
army
clumped up.
flanked.
This is not good. They are going to be going in the medevacs. Oh my god, that mine hit killed about 10 banelings.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Not
Where's the overseers? But the Marine army did get cleaned up. Oh, if the Zerg protects this fourth, it'll be big.
Yeah,
I don't know if
the
he
fourth is not going to stay
can.
up.
Oh god. So close.
A
So
tit for a
close.
tat. Army for two hatches denied. So obviously, depending on your school of StarCraft theory, a good trade for the Terran. So, and obviously I think that losing that much army could have been better, but you know he has denied the Zerg his
Yeah.
fourth for this
Now
full
the
time.
Terran has all these tech labs, but he's not really using them for Marauders. Only a few Marauders being queued. He needs to be making more Marauders. He's really mine heavy against this Bane composition that World is Doom likes to play. Marines aren't the best choice. Especially because I haven't seen the greatest splits from Maniac Jace.
No, I mean,
And I really wish that he would just
his
distract him. And then,
pre-splits were pretty good there, but It didn't come to fruition. The Zerg player did mind game and go somewhere else. So
Yeah.
he does scan to make sure that this gold has not been restarted. Zerg player opting to instead start the hatch here. And this, he's got some Widow Mines here, so he's going to be a pain.
Now the Terran
This-
player is maxed out, and he wants to be building better units than his Marines, but his primarily composition of Marines isn't the greatest. See, moving out at when you're maxed out as a Terran is actually a mistake. You want to move out when you're about 150 or 160 because you can replace your units with barracks. Is really easy. Muta's just ravaging the production. Also,
Yeah, getting all these add-ons and the turret just starting. Obviously, a huge mistake here.
he can take these Marines in a fight, I think, too.
Yeah, but
He's gonna back away.
He does see this engagement happening. Decent bank connections there.
Yeah.
Very decent.
This is a big army, though. He needs to not let this fourth get denied again.
Some mutas kind of off track. More Banes being morphed in. This is, I'm gonna say that this is a pretty solid position for the Zerg player here. Those Banes were not ideal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's going to be... If he takes out this fourth, the Terran player is just going to be in such a good position because third...
Surround being attempted by the Zerg player. He's just kind of running around a little bit here. The A move is a little interesting, but that's just so many
Oh my god,
mutas
these
at this
Marines.
point. So many
Every single
mutas.
one of those. Yeah. Okay, now the Zerg, I would say, is in a good position, like you were saying.
Yeah, he was in a good position. He could take that army.
Oh
took
no,
a
the
lot of
fourth!
add-ons.
Shit. He has enough to
Oh, wow.
defend. I just wish that fourth would go down.
Completely lost vision of that fourth there. Opting to chase down the medevac, and the Terran player, cognizant of that, denied the fourth again. That's
Now I take back
not
what I
good.
said. Now I'm going to say Terran's in a commanding lead, especially because he's got his fourth up with 5 turrets around it.
I don't know. These mutas. There's just a lot of mutas.
Yeah, and the Terran army... Okay,
Oh.
it's there.
Needs to
Get
run
out.
away from this.
It's nice that he kept
has
all those
the-
mutas, though.
Yeah, I mean, mutas are worth their weight in gold at any point of the game, but he just, I can't believe I mean, I don't know. We're not going to dwell on it. He really should not have given away that fourth, especially after hanging on that long.
Yeah, we do have double expand, but the main is mined out. Zerg is on 2 bases right now, and there's enough minerals still to have decent...
Some decent pickoffs here, and he is getting mileage out of these mutas. So he's keeping the Terran player back while he finally gets these hatches going. So doing what he needs to do to stay in this game, but economically definitely hurting.
So here's the big thing. Instead of transitioning to Hive and getting like better gas-fitted units, he has to get a fourth up. And it's that big delay that's going to let Terran have the advantage. Because Terran's 3-3 units are out, and you need higher tier units against 3-3 bio. Ling Bane is just not going to cut it out anymore. Just not going to cut it.
So a drop is going to try to take this gold. Zerg's ground army responding en masse, saying, I've had enough of this.
One of the things that's really hurting him is his creep spread is not...
Oh, that Bane denies it.
His creep spread is not connecting to the fourth at all, so it's making him try to defend it.
Decent mine connection on this muta force here, and the mutas are trying to keep this Terran player at home so that he can make up for some of his economic mistakes here.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to transfuse that fourth? I think he's just said it's done. He's not going to try to defend it. He has his other fourth up, and that's what he's going to defend.
Yeah, I don't foresee that happening. I think he's going to keep harassing.
Yep.
Keep the Terran player back. He's getting a lot of work. You have to
Oh my god,
question how familiar he is against Muta harass, because this is not
nice.
typical for mutas to get this much mileage at this level.
So many mutas. It's just I feel like there was never a time that he let his mutas die. It's weird to say, but I mean, like, he never put them in a position where he has to fight straight up against
I don't
Marines.
know. This position
Oh, okay.
just
Never
happened.
mind. Okay, up until that point.
Yeah.
Once again, we are maxed out versus maxed out, and now Terran has a better composition with 6 mines and 3 Thors. He's going to be able to take bio just
So Muta's in the main, getting some poking. Could have done a lot more here. He gets a little shy here, concerned about this force here. Decides, you know what, this is a good part of my army supply. Maybe it should be present for this fight.
I just don't think Ling Bane can take this army.
I think it's contingent upon the connections. Oh my. Muta's just getting shredded by those Thors.
Oh my god.
Alright, Bane's with subpar connections. Muta's out of position at this point. Not ideal. Production tab with a huge wave of speedlings. And there is creep here, so we might see this next round of lings push this force back, and then he might be able to saturate this gold. And at that point, that'll be an income swing for the Zerg.
No, this game's just over. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so as predicted, Zerg does repel this attack. Gonna pick off these streaming forces and is saturating the gold. So income at this point swinging in favor of our Zerg player.
There was 0 splits from the Terran army there, which is kind of bad.
Decent marine placement here. Not getting, not giving a lot of surface area away.
Zerg army still on 2-2. 3-3 almost done.
I'd like to see this Zerg player, and you have hit on a good point. I would like to see him starting some higher tech. I would like to see ultras at this point, because I think ultras would be an answer to some of the stuff he's seeing from this Terran player. Zerg player is opting to move into the base with these mutas.
I love how the Terran
pick off
player is
some
just like,
things.
I'm not building unit buildings over there anymore.
Yeah.
Just like an empty space in the main. That's funny. Once again, a healthy number of mutas out on the map.
These mutas could stand to have upgrades.
Yes, they could.
I mean, if he's gonna rely on them so heavily.
God. They're at 0-0. That's
oh
amazing.
wow! If he gets this, the hatchery does get sniped. This Zerg player just giving away a lot of things, and the Terran player immediately gonna scan, be like, "I know that you've mined out this base. I know that you've probably mined out this one. So you better have some bases." And the Zerg player does not, and that high income base needed to be protected. That's a very painful situation there.
Think if he had upgrades on these mutas. Oh god.
So we do see Zerg player deciding now is the time, trying to find connections with the Banes, holding the mutas back, letting the Zerglings get the Thors. Decent fighting here. I think that the Terran player is gonna take this fight though, and then off the back of having sniped that high income base, this is gonna be a painful, slow loss for the Zerg if he doesn't GG out right here. Definitely sad to see. Definitely sad to see. It had swung in his favor repeatedly, and Terran player overextending onto creep here, and then letting him get this high income base. It was his game to take off the back of an ultra switch, which just did not come to fruition here. So.
I think you hit it on the head though, with like no muta upgrades, staying on 2-2 for too long, not teching. Like, if he does one of those 3 things, I think he wins this game.
Would have.
Yeah, if he would have done one of those 3 things.
Income at this point, heavily favoring our Terran player. And as you'd said previously, Marines only costing 50 apiece. 3-3 Marines with medevac support and stim are just ridiculous. A Ling run by does get some mileage, but at this point the main's mined out. He's moved his production elsewhere. Honestly, how much value are you going to get out of this?
Yep.
Terran player did see the degree with which this hatch was completed, knows it's up, knows it's mining, knows it's the only one, is going to deny it, and this is just the beginning of a protracted death. Muta's getting caught out. I expect these Banes to get hit by the siege fire. Yep.
I cry.
Yeah.
Good game. Good game from Will is Doom. Good game from Maniac Chase. This was a fun one to cast.
And the GG is called. Terran